how are you? And welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Jordana. I upload YouTube videos, beauty videos, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. This Monday I didn't upload because I had my footage, and when I was gonna edit it, it was all blurry. And there's no way that I'm gonna post that. So I'm sorry for that. This is always a highly requested video, and it's the most watched series on my channel, and this is the Project Progress series. What I do on this series is that I choose blushes, bronzers, highlighters, and eyeshadow palettes, basically powder products, which are the hardest to pan, and I just choose a few of them since my collection is bigger, and that way I can use them for the entire month. I can just tell you which ones I love. If I really hate them, I will declutter them. So if you want to see this Project Progress and see the products that I chose for last month and the ones that I'm gonna choose for today forward, then just keep on watching. Okay, so this was last month Project Progress, and I'm gonna start as always with palettes. So I'm gonna start with a success. As you guys know, I traveled for 20 days last month. So it wasn't like I had the chance to take everything that I chose for the Project Progress with me. That's why I took a few more days after I came back to film this, just to give everything a fair shot. And even though I did that, I was so used to the product that I was using in the US that I didn't want to reach for the products that I didn't take with me. So the first one, this one I took with me. This is the Makeup by Mario and Anastasia collab, and this is one of my most favorite palettes. This one had pan in 3 shades, came Marina and Paris, and now I hit pan in Lula, Muse, and Fifth Avenue. And I'm about to hit pan, I think, on Isabel and New York City. So this was a well-loved palette, and I really enjoyed it while traveling. This is, for me, one of the most amazing palettes from Anastasia, and I wish they would make it permanent. Another one that I took with me, but it wasn't as loved as the Anastasia palette, but it was really loved as well. This one is the Just Peachy Matte by Too Faced. You can see that I've used it. You can see a little bit of a dent. And everything I couldn't find on this palette, I would just use this one for that. So I mostly went like this while using it. And it's an amazing palette. I would highly recommend it. And I love the matte. It's just that when you're using one of your holy grails, like me while using this one, you don't want to use anything else. The other palette that I didn't take with me but I really loved was the Naked 2 palette. And I almost hit pan in Snakebite and Foxy. The rest of the shades, like 5 shades, I really did use them before I left and after I came back, because this one I didn't take with me, but it was loved. This one I'm happy with the progress, and I wasn't reaching for this palette at all, and now I really want to put it on my bridal kit. I have my Charlotte Tilbury palette, and this one is the Vintage Vamp. These I didn't really love that much, even though I used it about twice, and the look was okay. I don't love it as much as the Dolce Vita palette, which is my all-time favorite palette, and I thought the formula was going to be the same, but it feels different. It's nice, but it's not as nice as the Dolce Vita palette. And I've heard that before. I don't know who said that. I think it was Jamie Page or something. She said that she didn't like these eyeshadows, or she found them inconsistent. I don't remember, but I think it was her. This is just not for me. I think I'm gonna give it another try and use it on clients and see if I love it on clients, because it's an expensive eyeshadow palette and I wanted it for so long. So I'm gonna give it a few more shots, but it didn't blow my mind. It didn't. So this one was sort of a fail. Last but not least, for eyeshadow palettes, I have the Natasha Denona Sunset palette. And this one I wish I would have taken with me, but at the same time I'm happy that I didn't, because a lot of time things break when they're on your suitcase, even if it's your carry-on. So I didn't take this because of that. This is too expensive for me to risk it. But I used it a few times. I said that I was gonna do a 3-in-1 makeup tutorial with this eyeshadow palette, but I was so busy. I just pre-filmed everything. I used it, but I didn't show the love that I was hoping to show it, and I truly love it. I know that even though I didn't use it every day, even though I didn't use it as much as the rest of the palettes, I know that I do love this palette. The formula is amazing, and the times that I've used it, I've loved it. I think the matte shadows blend themselves. I think the shimmers are better applied with your finger. Nothing new about that. I think every shimmer looks better with the finger, but some eyeshadows perform 100 times better with fingers. Shimmer shadows from Natasha Denona are one of those. But this is an insanely pretty palette, and I love the color scheme. By the way, if I ever mention a YouTuber or something, I will link their channels down below if you want to check them out. For blush, I had 4. This one I took with me, and this is Tarte Risque. And you can see right here that the pattern is almost gone. It's faded a ton. So this one, I used it almost every day on my trip. I love it. I think this is one of those shades that competes with Matte Leaf from NARS, even though that one is my all-time favorite. This one is gonna be up there for sure. The other one that I took with me, because I had to choose just 2 blushes that were different, was a Snapdragon. And I know you can see the brush strokes on this one. I use this a ton. I love this for the flush summer look, like you've been running and you get just flushed and beautiful. And then when you apply this heavy-handed a little bit and then buff it into your skin, oh my god, you look like you're just a baby in the best way. So this blush, I would highly recommend it. It's called Snapdragon by Becca. And before I left, the 2 that I was using were Snapdragon and Tiger Lily. So Tiger Lily got a lot of use before I left. And this one, I truly love it also, as well as much as Snapdragon. This is a beautiful shade. You guys know how I feel about orange anything, about orange makeup, because I don't like orange clothes. And then this one was a fail. This one I basically used it about twice. I don't even think that I used it twice. This is the Benefit California blush. It was a fail because I truly forgot about it. And this is a bulky packaging, and I was carrying a small travel makeup bag. I'm gonna leave someplace on the screen my travel makeup video. So this one wasn't the one that I wanted to take, not because of the shade, but because of the size of the product. So I didn't really use this. This was a fail on this Project Progress, but I'm gonna keep it in my collection. I really like the shade. It's just that this one couldn't compete with the other 3 that I just showed you. For highlighter, I also had 4. And this highlighter that I used the most, that I took with me, this one wasn't a fair competition. Because this is the Anastasia Amorisi highlighter. And you can see that it's been used and loved, and I'm gonna use it and abuse it because this is one of my favorite highlighters in my entire collection. So this is the one that I had to take with me. The other 3 that I added, I basically didn't touch them except for one. And these are my 3 new Becca highlighters addition. This is Dreamsicle, which is the one that I used the most out of those 3. And you can see it right there on the side. I've been really using it. Since I was traveling and I wasn't taking a self-tanner with me, this one as a highlighter, only a highlighter, sometimes can look a little bit dark on me, on my nose and everything. So I didn't want to take 2 highlighters with me. If not, these were the 2 that I would have carried. But this looks beautiful as a blush, as an eyeshadow. And I didn't want to take the risk of breaking it because this is a limited edition. And if they don't make it permanent, I don't want to just damage the product. These 2 I didn't even touch. Because when you put your new 2 Holy Grail highlighters together in a Project Progress, then the other 2 are just not loved. I think I used Parisian Lights about 2 times or something. And then Vanilla Quartz, to be honest, didn't impress me. It's beautiful, but it's just not a shade that I reach for. And this has the same shift as Parisian Lights, and I prefer Parisian Lights. For bronzer, I didn't really use this. I used it about twice. This is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and I love this. I know that I don't have to really use it on a Project Progress to know how much I love it, and to know that eventually I will just go crazy with it. But I was focusing on another bronzer, and it's my NARS Laguna bronzer. And you will see now what I mean. This one, I've hit major pan. So I didn't only take it with me. Before I left, this was the one that I'm using. After I came back, this is the one that I've been using. But these, now I want to just finish it to focus on other bronzers. Because sometimes it happens that you fall in love with a product and you can't seem to put it down. That's what's happening to me with NARS Laguna. So yeah, this was insanely love. So far so good for the project progress, because all I need is for my makeup to look loved. And if I can finish a product or just pan it that hard, then I'm really happy that I put it in the project progress. Then the other one that I thought it was gonna be the one that I was gonna use the most, but I forgot about my trip, was the Marc Jacobs Fantastic. This is beautiful. I love the scent, I love the color, I love how it blends, I love the mirror. I didn't want to take it with me because it was too big for me to take it. Then when I came back, I forgot about it. The same thing happened with California. Yeah, so I didn't really show this that much love, but I know I'm gonna put it in the next project progress or something just to make myself use it more. The only product from this project progress, because I showed you all of my products already, that I didn't really love, that I didn't really like, that if I didn't have it, or two products, if I didn't have them in my collection, I don't think I would miss them, were Vanilla Quartz and the Vintage Vamp. Maybe even California, but I really like this way more than these other two products. I'm gonna give them a shot, and regardless, I'm not gonna get rid of Shimmering Skin Perfector because I collect them. And the Vintage Vamp, I'm just gonna put it on my kit and make the most out of it for my clients. And the only shade that I do appreciate and love, and I'm obsessed with it, is the topper. Those Charlotte Tilbury toppers make you look so expensive. It's just insane. Okay, so that was my project progress from May to June, and now we're gonna do July to August. But we're gonna start today, and the day that I'm filming this is July 10th. So yeah, I chose a lot of products, and I decided to add a category. And the one that I chose was foundation. The reason why is because I have tons of foundation. I don't have tons of concealer, tons of primers. I have a few, but I've been going through them because I don't know if I said it on Instagram or a video. I don't know. I'm rusty, so I don't really remember what I've said when. I said that I did 2 foundation videos, and I said that I had a ton of foundations. When I was choosing my favorites, current favorites, I realized that I had way more than I was gonna use, and then I decluttered a few. I made a face products declutter, and then I still have a ton of foundation. So the only way that I can rotate them and use them and see if I really love them and re-review them is just using them in my project progress, and that way I can use one foundation a week, and that will tell me a lot whether you think it's true or not. When you use a foundation for a week, when you use it for a day and you don't love it, you know right away. So right now I've been into one of the ones that I chose because it's the perfect shade to match my neck and my body. It's a funny thing, but it's a drugstore super affordable foundation, and it's cruelty free. So the first one, it's gonna be my Lancome Tantidol Ultra Wear, and this is in the shade 320 Bisque W, and it's this one right here. This is a beautiful foundation. It's a little bit dark for me, but it's not that dark. So this is like an in-between when I'm not self-tan and when I'm self-tan. These can help me lighten the darker foundations that I have, and it's a beautiful mixer. So I love this one to mix it with other foundations. I like it by itself, but I love it more as a mixer. Then another one that I grabbed that I know it will match me right now, that I need to fake tan for a week just to use this one, is the Forever by Dior in the shade 021. And this is a beautiful one. It's just too yellow and dark for me right now, but it's really pretty. I'm obsessed with it. When I was using it, I started using it, and I used it for about 2 weeks straight, and I had to make myself stop using it. So I know that I love it. I just need to go back to it with the right self-tanner. But oh my goodness, I would buy this in a lighter shade if I didn't have that crazy amount of foundations. One that it's really expensive and that I adore and that I was using for a while also, and I don't remember the finish either, but I like it. I really like it. It's the Power Fabric by Giorgio Armani, and I have it in the shade 6. This one, I have to be honest, the first time that I used it, I didn't really love it, and then the more I use it, the more I loved it. And I find that my favorite is still the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk from the Giorgio Armani foundations, but this is a beautiful foundation, and I love that they have olive shades. And then last but not least is the foundation that I'm wearing today. I have a review of this one on this channel. I'm gonna link it below. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, and I have the shade Bronze Beige. This is the perfect shade right now for me. This one looks beautiful. It gives you the perfect coverage. I love the spatula, and I've been using it a ton. I've been using it from the next day that I got here, and that was June 26th. So I already know that I love this. I just added it just to make myself just reach the other two, but have a choice to just make progress on a foundation that I love. And the thing is that I need to finish at least 5 foundations before the year is over, because I've been just hoarding foundations, and it's not fair to let them go to waste being so expensive. And I know that you can't be like a drama queen or something, but I don't wanna really focus myself on using a $5 foundation and spending $60, 50 something dollars on a foundation like a Giorgio Armani, like a Dior foundation, and then let that go to waste. It's just not something that I want to do. So if I get this out of the way, it's another foundation that it's gone, that I know I love, and that maybe I will repurchase after I finish a lot of the ones that I'm not sure about, or the ones that I'm not reaching for that much. For highlighters, I have 4. The first one is gonna be the Dior Nude Air Glowing Gardens in the shade Glowing Nude. This one, they have it on a different presentation, but it's the same one. It's just it doesn't have the engraved on the packaging, but you can see that right here. You can see the grid, and I'm gonna just keep going on that spot, see if I can just make a dent. I have it subtly today on my cheeks, and I really love this highlighter. You can see that. You can see that because when you see a highlighter that's being worn that much, then you know that it's a favorite. Another one that I put on my project progress, on my first project pan, I'm sorry, was the Burberry Nude Gold. And now they sent me a while ago the shade Rose Gold, and I really want to get some use out of it because since I got it, I haven't really used it, and this is a beautiful color. So this is the Dior one, and this is the Burberry. Even though Dior kills it with the highlighters, the consistency of the Burberry highlighters is amazing. The reason why I haven't gotten around to try this is because Nude Gold is such a unique shade that if I'm gonna pick out a Burberry highlighter, I always go for Nude Gold, but it depends on your skin tone. So I'm gonna go with Rose Gold right now and just play with it and see how it works. And the other two are the Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop and Prosecco Pop from this palette. I know that Champagne Pop, I already have it on Heat Pan. This one I've used it a ton, so you can see a dent in the middle. And then Prosecco Pop, I never reach for, so I want to make myself use them, and that way I can use this palette. For blushes, I'm going to have 6, and I don't care because I really need to use this palette. And the one that I know that I'm going to use the least is gonna be this one right here, which is Pamplemousse. It's just not the type of shades that I love wearing, and when I want to wear them, I would prefer Snapdragon, which is a luminous blush. So this one is Amaretto, which was at one point a Holy Grail blush, a favorite of 2015, I think. And then this one is beautiful. This is Rose Spritz, and it's one of the most beautiful blushes I own. And I have been forgetting about this palette because it's limited edition, but you can buy similar stuff. And Becca has amazing blushes. So just for me to try them and tell you that the formula is good, that will be enough for you guys to try the shades that you guys want. The rest of the blushes I really wanted to use for summer. And then this one is Luster by NARS, and it's one of my favorite blushes. You will see me every time I do a project progress, almost every time I add a NARS blush because I have like 50 of them. So Luster is one of my favorites, and I want a heat pan on that because I also have it in a palette. On the other hand, I have this one. I always swatch it, always think it's beautiful, and I never really put it on my cheeks. I've used it about twice since I got it. And this is the Laura Geller Blush and Brighten in the shade Sun Swept. And this is beautiful. It's just stunning. I'm going to swatch it for you guys so that you guys can see. It's the perfect bronzy summer blush. And it has a hint of pink veining inside of it. It's one of those baked blushes that I love, and I'm obsessed with this type of formula. And Mandy, makeup artist, I'm gonna link her channel below. She loves these blushes. So since she mentioned it, it reminded me that I wanted to use this one on summer. So now I added it. This is the Burt's Bees blush in the shade Toasted Cinnamon. One of my best friends, Jamie, she bought this for me when she was getting one for herself because she knows that I love Kathleen Lights. She loves Kathleen Lights. She knows that I love blushes. And she wanted me to have it because it's always sold out, and when she saw too, she got it. That's what friends are for. So she got this one for me, and I want to show it a lot of love this month. For bronzer, I grabbed four, but one of them is a sculpting powder, so it's basically a contour, not a bronzer. And I also added one that I've been really using, and this one I've used it on clients, I've used it on myself. It already had pan because I was using it every day when I got it. This is like my third one or my second one, I don't remember. But this is my Hula bronzer by Benefit, and I'm also gonna put it in a project pan because Laguna and Hula are those bronzers that won't let me love anything else because I'm obsessed with them. And I'm gonna be just using this till, I don't know, for the next 3 months, until I'm done with it and until I'm done with Laguna, because I want to just get rid of them. These, I'm sure that in the future, after I finish like 10 bronzers, I will repurchase. These are that good. But now that I have them and that I'm so close to finishing them, I just want to get through them, because that way when I open my bronzer drawer, these are not going to be my first choices. Then a Too Faced bronzer that I never really use, but since I bought it, I love it. I think it's one of the most beautiful bronzers, is Beach Bunny. You guys have seen me show you guys Sun Bunny, and that one I've gone through a few. But Beach Bunny has a hint of a pinky bronzy shade, and it's this I'm using as a blush today. So this is Beach Bunny, and I just want to use these. I just want to show it some love, and it's pretty. I know it's the old packaging, but I've had this for a while and I never show love to it. It says that it's a custom blend bronzer, and I get that because it has a few stripes, and the stripes, well, you can put the brush anywhere you want on the pan, and that way you can get a different effect. The sculpting powder by Kevyn Aucoin, and this is in the shade Light. These I got just because I wanted a sculpting powder, and I love the medium one of this one, so I wanted something for my nose. I was using it every day. You can see that it has a dent and brush strokes, but I stopped using it because I wanted the easy thing, which was just to use the bronzer on my nose. But now I'm gonna go back to this sucker, and I'm hoping that before this project progress is over, I hit pan on it. You only need the tiniest amount, but that one is a powdery type of consistency, and it's beautiful. I need to carry them on my kit, the light one and the medium one. And if I get more dark skin clients, I will for sure add the deep shade, because that one really looks like a shadow. It doesn't look like you were punched in the face. It doesn't look orangey. It's just a perfect shadow to give the effect of a nice contour. And then last but not least, I just opened this one for this video. This is the Pixie by Petra Subtly Sun Touch. And this one, I had a sample size that lasted me forever. This is one of those pinkier bronzers. Oh, for foundations, I forgot to mention that I'm gonna use the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion in the shade Bisque. I asked for a sample because a friend of mine told me that she loves this foundation, so I want to make sure that I use the sample and that I get my thoughts straight about this foundation. This is one that I got at TJ Maxx for sale, and this is the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar. And these I've wanted for a while, but I didn't want to spend the money, and this cost me about $22 to $24 on sale, so it was basically half price. And I love it. I think it's prettier than the other Too Faced palette. And this one, I know I'm gonna use it. And you guys know that I always have to choose a palette with a black. And this is gonna be the main black that I'm gonna use. I almost never reach for the chocolate bar one. That one was the huge packaging. These, I think I'm gonna love more than that. The second one was a gift from my friend Jamie. She got this at a BoxyCharm. And this is the A La Mar Cosmetics Reina del Caribe Volume 1. And it's a Cuban sort of theme. It has La Costa, El Malecón, Varadero, Celia, Cocotaxi, Trópico, Guantanamera, and Cafecito. So this is a nice one. I love the colors. It's not something that I go for every day, but I love these two shades. I need to play with them. It's good to support Latino brands. I'm Colombian, you guys know that, and I was gonna buy it regardless, but it was a gift and I loved it. Another palette that I got, and this one I got it at the beginning of this year. I don't really remember, but I'm loving this palette. I used it twice already, and I used it on a client. It was so beautiful, and it blends beautifully, and when you swatch it, it's so buttery. This is insane for me to say because I'm not a Morphe person. I'm not a Morphe affiliate. It's all about affiliation with Morphe. I always don't get the hype, and I got the Kathleen Lights and Morphe palette, and I didn't love that, and I love Kathleen Lights. Even the Jacqueline Hill one, I liked it, but I wasn't obsessed with it. But this one, it's so buttery. This is the Morphe 3502, and oh my god, this is a transition shade, junkie kind of dream. For me, all of these browns are just everything I need in life and more. You guys know that I love orange. These orange and these coppery shades, and it's just warm goodness. It has a black, it has a deep brown, it has reddish browns, just poopy browns, light browns. It's amazing. The only thing that would make this palette completely perfect, more than perfect, would be if they had a bone shade, matte bone shade. That would be everything this palette, for this palette to be one of the most perfect palettes I have ever seen. The way these swatches, and like I said, I'm not a Morphe affiliate, and I'm not really a Morphe supporter in the way that I have nothing against the brand. It's just that I've never seen a palette of them that has been a must-have for me. Just collabs that I need to support the YouTuber or the creators behind it. But I always see the palettes and I'm like, blah, I don't need that in my life. So I'm gonna swatch Ruby, which is the fiery red. You're gonna see this. Like, are you flipping kidding me? That's beautiful. And then just the orange, just to show you. My goodness. They are so buttery. You can feel like the creaminess of the shadows when you're swatching them. For the price of this palette and the amount of shadows that they come with 35 shadows, 35 in one palette. This is another spoiler for my haul. This is the Dominique Latte palette. And this one, I was super happy to get it. I got it at Ulta with my point and with a 20% discount. So this is a beautiful palette. I love the mattes. I already used it on a bride. I haven't used these two deep shades, but I used all of these. Oh, and I used these two. This one I haven't used, and these two I haven't used. But this is beautiful, and the pants are crazy huge. I'm gonna show you next to this one. Like, are you kidding me? These are pools, not pants. So I love that. And I've also used it on the face of my face. And I use vanilla cream as Kristen Dominique recommends. I'm gonna support this brand because I love Kristen. Even though I love her, I wouldn't say that everything is perfect. But the Dominique Latte palette for me right now, it swatches beautifully and it performs beautifully on the eyes. She said that it wasn't that pigmented to begin with, and then you could build it. I find it to be pigmented. I find the mattes to be perfect. I love the shimmers. They're just buttery and beautiful. So the Latte palette gets a 10 out of 10 from me. But so far, 7 out of 10 eyeshadows that I've tried, I've loved. And they build super quickly. It's not like, oh, it's buildable, so you're gonna be blending a sheer eyeshadow for the rest of your effing life. No, it's instant. You get it, you make it a little bit sheer to begin blending, and then when you grab the brush again and put it on the shadow and put it on your eye again, it packs a punch. It's beautiful. So far so good with the latte palette. I'm obsessed with it. Okay guys, so I'm gonna cut the video short, and I'm not gonna show you the Dominique lemonade palette because I can't seem to find it anywhere. Sadly, the lemonade palette has a shade called Pink Lemonade, and that one is sort of a shimmer, a pink shimmer. It's beautiful. I'm gonna see if I can put it right here. I can't find the palette anywhere. But the good thing is that even though I want to use that for this month and review it, I'm gonna then compare it to another palette that they're gonna send me, because they reached out to me and told me that they knew that they had a bad batch. I'm not the kind of person that will show hate and say that I'm done with the bad batches, that they should stop doing stuff just for doing it. I know that that's all true, but I'm not here to show hate to anyone. And I wouldn't show hate to Kristen because she's so lovely. She's always so good to everyone. She seems, I don't know her personally, but she seems so nice. So if she made a mistake, we all make mistakes. So let's just stop the hate. So I'm gonna try and use this palette on this challenge if I can find it on this project progress, and I will give a review of the other shades because they already told me that that one was a shady shade. So yeah, that's everything for my project progress. I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget that I post videos Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I follow Samantha March, and she's a beautiful YouTuber. I'm also gonna leave her link below. And Kelly Gush, which I also follow, is doing a series that Samantha March started, which is called the Will I Buy It series. If you guys want to see that, I wouldn't do it every week, but I would love to do that every 15 days or maybe once a month. If you guys want to see that, and if you're gonna love it as much as you love my project progress, please leave it in the comments below. You guys know that I always pay attention to that. Also, since the whole video, I mentioned that I wanted to start posting you guys or doing shout outs either here or on my Instagram. So please always leave a flag or send me a selfie watching my videos to my Instagram so that I can do a shout out, and that way I can follow you guys back, and that way we can interact more and I can get to know you more, because you always see me talking and talking about makeup, but I never get to see you guys. So tell me something about yourselves and just leave me your flag always when you comment on my videos, or send me a selfie on Instagram. I'm gonna leave my social media someplace on the screen. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can be part of my YouTube fam. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and I guess I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.